All right, hello everybody. Wait, where the hell's the mic? The mic is down here. So I gotta make sure it isn't on mute because every time I seem to go live nowadays, these things always go on mute. Damn technology. So, hello, let me get everything set up over here on Instagram, on YouTube, and we're gonna get into it. Oh, maybe we can get Instagram turned on. What is going on? Go live, damn it. There we go. All right, so you always see the technical errors right before you always go live. It's always something. I will say that. It is always something. So let's make sure we are live. Let's make sure we have the mic to where we want it to be. Hello, everyone. Welcome, whether you're tuning in on YouTube, whether you're tuning in on Facebook, whether you're tuning in on Instagram. Welcome for our Wednesday live stream. Let me pin the comment. I got a free guide set up for you if you want to comment snacks. Now, it's not the same snack that you might always be associating the word snack with, because today we are talking about exercise snacks. Well, you might be saying, well, Nick, that doesn't taste good. What the hell's an exercise snack? Well, we're about to get into it. And so I know a lot of times one of the things that we end up getting into in the New Year's is, you know what, New Year, new. Oh, let me get this out of here. New Year, new me. But then we always find that we don't have real any direction to kind of get us that new me, right? So let me know in the chat how you guys doing, tuning in before I start getting on my little ramp. And we got people on Facebook, Instagram. So one of the things that we always talk about is an exercise snack. So Nick, what the hell is an exercise snack? Now, this isn't something that essentially you eat, right? This is something that you do. And now I want you, and we're going to talk about this a little bit more on Monday about our power hour, but I want you to think of an exercise snack as a break for yourself, whether if you are work at home, whether if you are work in the office, that are some things that you can do to give yourself more energy. So instead of just relying on coffee and eating, damn, skipping your breakfast and sucking down energy drinks, let's start doing something that it can be energizing. So first thing we're going to do, and I'm gonna save this. If you comment the word snacks, you're going to have a guide that's 25. Maybe I should actually, you know what? Let me just do that. Let me pull up my guide real quick, and I can kind of demonstrate a lot of the stuff that we're even going through. Snacks, right? Snackies, yeah, right. Not those types of snacks though. You get yourself. So the first thing I have it broken down into 25 exercises. The first one is a band. So, when we do our band exercises, let me get this. And we always use Wednesday as more of a demonstration type of exercise type of day, right? So, always a demonstration. So, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. But when we're doing anything, so say you're working, right? And you have a couple extra minutes. And I want you to think about getting the band around your feet and just bringing it out so you can get some resistance, right? And not necessarily where we have it like this. Get the legs engaged and just try a couple squats, right? Set a timer. I mean, this is something that you can really do is you set a timer for 20 seconds and see how many can you do in 20 seconds, right? And then next thing you know, you go on to the next exercise. Like if you have the band around your feet, you wouldn't just stop at a squat now, would you? No, you wouldn't. So if we have the band around our feet, say you do your 20 seconds of exercises, but now you're over here on the wall and you're doing your lateral leg raises, right? You're turning on your glutes, you're turning on your hips, and then you're like, oh shit, I got to go back to my meeting, right? And then you're able to kind of go back into work, right? So this is what is considered an exercise snack, is that you're taking a little bit of a break, but still allowing yourself to do something that is movement based. And I know a lot of my work at home people, you guys are doing this, right? You're sitting there, you wake up, you go right to your work, you go right to the laptop, you go right to the chair, and you don't move. So here's a couple things that we can do as we're going by it. So that is for our legs. And again, if you look at the list, you can kind of go through there, put some instructions in there, some very simple things. But you can get the band around your wrist, right? So say you get the band around your wrist and you have been sitting here over a desk all day long, you can actually get the band out like so. And this is a very good stretch for anybody who works at home, is that you get the band up like so. And I want you to think about pulling one arm all the way down and back. down and back. Maybe you've seen me do these exercises beforehand, but I want you to think about what we're doing is we're feeling this stretch. We're turning on our deltoids, but more importantly, we're turning on the muscles that are going to turn the shoulders back, right? That's going to be important. So if you can get a band and you can squeeze and do your pull aparts where you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Now, it's one thing just to sit there and pull it apart. No, I want you to think right in between your shoulders, you're squeezing your shoulders together. That way, you're feeling your shoulders protract and retract, right? So those are a couple different things that you could do with said band. But one of the things that I want you to think if you don't have a band is we bring ourselves down to the ground, right? So if you could bring yourselves down to the ground, I want you to get yourself into maybe a glute bridge position, right? So say you're in a glute bridge position and you want to go ahead and do your glute bridges. Well, if you're down here, you can come up, squeeze the butt, but then maybe you throw an extra march into it, right? Or maybe you're in this glute bridge and you come up and you do a simple calf raise where you're just adding a little bit of extra spice into it. Now, essentially, it's going to be based upon you and your goals, right? When we think about exercise snacks, it's not about what essential exercises you can do. It's about the exercises that you are going to schedule for yourself, right? Now, it's one thing for me to sit here and show you a whole bunch of different exercises, but I want you to think, what areas are you the weakest at? What areas do you need to spend a little bit more attention to, right? And now you can start to maybe build some structure into your routine, into your workday, into your, maybe you're in the office or whatever it may be. That way that you can start to plan movement into your day, right? Because when it all comes down to it, we're looking for 150 minutes per week. That's what the science says. That's what the research says. Most of the research that I've been involved in says 150 minutes per week. So if you're somebody who is maybe very busy, you don't really have enough time to dedicate an hour's worth of exercise to something, this is going to be something that's going to be very easy for you to get yourself going and to get yourself into a position where you're going to start actually seeing some sort of results, right? And so let's look at some of the mistakes. And we talked about this last week. We talked about some of the mistakes that you would get yourself into, like more of exercise 101, lunges, your squats, your push-ups, your different types of variations. But now that we're building upon that list, right? We showed you how to perfect your form a little bit. And if you missed it, it's about getting your lunge, not necessarily in a tightrope. I'm trying to see how far I am with the camera. But if you're lunging like this and your legs are in a tightrope, we know that that's an issue. If you could bring your legs a little bit wider where it is in a train track position and you actually involve sinking this knee down rather than pushing here, that is something that maybe you can work on for your exercise snack, right? This could be like, well, I want to fix my lunge or I have some knee problems. Well, what are some things that we can do that are going to actually help fix a lot of that issues, right? So that's one of the things that I want you to think of whenever you're doing maybe this guide is, what is it? What am I weak at? What do I need to work on? And what are some of the things that can actually that you need to address, right? One of the very first things that somebody, whenever you're starting an exercise routine, is your squat, your hip hinge, and your lunge. But sometimes that's not enough, and you need to work on your core. You need to work on your glute activation. Now, how can we do this, right? How can we do this in a way that's going to actually protect yourself, but get yourself into a place where you start to see some sort of results, right? Because it's one thing to do all of these exercises, but if you don't have a plan, you don't have any structure, what the hell's the worth of it, right? So I want you to go down through this list of our exercises. If you comment the word snacks, you will see it. We have loop band exercises. We have yoga-based exercises as well. And if you guys have any questions about that, that's what we're going to kind of get ourselves into now. It's like some of these yoga-based and Pilates-based stacks. So when we do this, I want you to really focus on your form. Now, if you're going into maybe your warrior two, right, looking down, and maybe if you have some time, you're just perfecting maybe just you're pushing this knee forward and really trying to find a stretch here, right? Maybe you're not going straight into your full warrior two position and holding. Maybe you're just focusing on the knee and then you're focusing on squeezing the glute, right? These are the different things that can allow you to maybe focus on the movement rather than the actual exercise or the actual pose, we'll say, in yoga. So when you're doing your snacks, maybe that's something you focus on, is that, I always feel a little tight here, but let me push forward here. Okay, my knee's stacked right above the ankle. All right, now let me look back here. Oh, would you look at that? That my heel is in line with that back arch. And then maybe you might feel that this is different, and then you extend your arms, and then now you just helped perfect your form, right? It's those simple things, but you would never be able to do it if you were just maybe waiting for a yoga class or waiting for something, right? Do these exercise snacks, give yourself a little bit of break. This could be 30 seconds, this could be a minute, this could be 10 minutes, right? But this could be something that if you're working at home, that you're going up and down the steps, right? Maybe when you go up and down the steps, maybe you're doing your lateral step downs. Maybe you're doing, like if you think, like you get yourself onto a step and then you're going down, tapping 1, tapping 2, right? Doing simple things. And actually, this is a really good one. If you've ever done this on a yoga block and you can sit there and actually step yourself down, this is actually a very good sort of exercise to work your hips. But I know we're getting a little sidetracked, but doing stuff where it's actually going to work your form and maybe help out your pose could be something that's going to be very beneficial kind of going forward, in your future practice. So, but then also we think about Pilates. Well, maybe you want to work on your core. Maybe you want to go ahead and be like, you know what? Pilates is something. I've been doing your exercises on Sundays. I've been doing these different things, but it kind of hurts. Well, here's a couple things that you can work on that aren't necessarily exercises in general. They can help fix your practice. First thing I always like to really reiterate is your threshold position. Now, let me know in the comments if you've ever done this position and felt pain in your neck, right? If you've sat here and I'm telling you to do your dead bugs, or maybe I'm telling you to do the single leg stretches, and you're like, damn, but my neck really hurts here. Now, let me know in the comments if that's you. If that is you, we have to realize, why are we doing this? It's because you are really bending your neck. You are flexing your head all the way down. So that's going to put a lot of strain and pressure right there on the back of your neck. So how can we fix it? Well, when you're doing your exercise snacks, you can maybe just sit in this position and focus all the way up rather than looking down, right? So if you're looking up, this is going to kind of neutralize your spine. And then whenever you're doing your single leg stretches, it actually gets your neck and your spine in a straighter position. And so that whenever you go to transition into some of your, poses on Sunday or some of your practices, you've already kind of been practicing it, but you've also been doing the exercises as well, right? So exercise snacks, they could be the game changer. They could be the thing that is going to help give you, some freedom back and maybe give you some control of your schedule, control of your workouts, control, because it's not about, let's be real, it's not about getting a 30-minute workout. It's not about getting an hour workout. It's about doing something, right? If 2025 is your year where you said you're going to actually do some sort of movement, you said you're going to do some sort of exercises, well, here it is, right? Give yourself, type the word snacks in the comments. You'll see a guide and follow it, right? It's very simple, because then if you could do that, then you're showing up, right? You're putting attention to movement. Now you're showing up for yourself. So when you're doing these different movement patterns, I want you to think about that. Is this something that, you want to do? And if it's something you want to do, you're going to be more likely to stick with it. So make sure you download the guide. And if you can download the guide, then you can get yourself into a place where you start taking control of a lot of your health. So let me know if you have any questions, and let me know if you're dealing with any pains. Let me know if you're dealing with any shoulder pains. Let me know if you're dealing with any hip pains. Maybe you're trying to focus on getting your core back in able. Maybe you're trying to focus on more flexibility, more mobility. Let me know if you have any questions, and we can kind of go over them in real time and kind of just show you some different things, right? I feel like for me, I use the term exercise, the snacks essentially. That's what I do in the beginning. That's what I do in the morning. That's what I do kind of to perfect I won't say perfect it, but practice my poses. It's what I use to learn different poses. And then whenever I go into my normal practice, it allows me just to kind of, I don't know, be a little bit better and feel a little bit better. And then just kind of manage it a little bit more, right? Stay into those poses, breathe into it, be like, I didn't realize that that's turning on and this is turning on, right? So give yourself 10, 15 minutes, do some exercise snacks. And again, it's going to help you out. It's going to help your brain. It's going to help your body. It's going to help your movement. And you never know, it might propel you to want to do more. So something to consider as we go along in this 2025 journey that is health, that is fitness. So let me know if you have any questions. I know we're live over here on YouTube. We're live over here on Instagram. Let me see how we're doing on Instagram. Oh, we got 3 people on Instagram. So nobody likes exercise snacks today. Okay. I like it. So now we know we won't do any exercise snacks videos for the next month, right? We usually, and if that's the case, it's because people are like, Nick, I don't want to exercise anymore. What the hell's going on? I don't want to exercise right now. I haven't even got started. You're telling me I need to start doing these exercise snacks? What the fuck? So I get it, right? It's the beginning of the year, but it's always, what do we say, right? It's always one day or day one, you get to decide, right? And I know Instagram, they were yelling at me the other day. They said that I've been using some foul language in my live streams. So they have been flagging me. So we'll see if I can get back on Instagram their good graces. And it's always funny because my page is for 18 and up. So if I swear, guess what? Just part of the that's part of the language, right? I don't know. I don't get it. What are you gonna do, right? Can't please everybody. So exercise snacks, something that you can easily add into your routine. And the best part is it's something that doesn't take too much of your time. So give yourself some break. If you're sitting there at a desk all day long, you're sitting there at your office chair for all day long, get yourself up, go through the guide, go through the list, and be able to look and see, well, is this something that I can do? Does this, like, do I have loop bands? No. Okay. Do I have some space? Okay, I do. Right. And maybe you start doing some of the things off the guide. Next thing you know, you start doing them more often. And then now you're doing them 2 to 3 times a week. Now you're actually getting your 150 minutes of exercise that is required. And now you're seeing some results, right? When it all comes down to it. So let me know if you have any questions. DM me, message me, and we'll get back into it. And we're going to get into our Food Friday streams. We got a new concept going on on Friday for our. We're going to do some meal prepping, teaching people how to meal prep a little bit better or maybe a little smarter. And you're going to like the little guide that I got. I always like giving these free guides out so you guys can have some resources. But we got a nice little, how do I say it? Meal plan, grocery list. I don't know. We're going to give out a new, just a list for you to start getting yourself into planning your meals again. Maybe you fell off. Maybe you've never meal prepped before. Whatever. It's going to be a good one on Friday. So hopefully you can tune in and we'll see you there. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure if you are one of my clients and you want, like, well, Nick, I didn't get this guide and you're watching this on the replay. Like, well, what the hell? Where is it? The guide didn't come through. Did you comment snacks, Harvey? Let me see. The guide didn't come through. Did you hit the button? You're going to have to make me look. Let me see. Dun, dun, dun. Actually, I have. That's always the thing whenever I get my phone or when I get my my laptop out from my normal section, it ends up, I don't even know where the hell my mini chat is. And said, Harvey, it didn't show up, huh? Let's see. Now, if you, let's see, let me go to my mini and new automation. Let's see. Why wouldn't it come up? Now, did you click the button? I'm curious. Did you click the button? That's always the one thing that's, maybe I didn't specify that. So you will get a, you would get a, I don't know where the hell it went. Yeah, it's this one. Comment on your live comment snacks. It should have went through. I'm kind of curious that if it didn't, why it didn't. Maybe try. Let's see. That's weird because it said 2 people clicked through. So Harvey, I don't know. What did you click? Did you click snacks? Did you click? I don't know. It should usually send. So I don't know. Maybe check when you check your messages, make sure you hit the little button right there in the corner, and it should send you a free little guide. So yeah, Meg, let me know if you get the message too, because I'm curious. Because now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if it sends you the guide or if it sends you my old snacks. Because I did an old video of exercise snacks beforehand, and I'm curious if it sends it all the way over. It worked when I clicked it. Okay. Yeah, so Harvey, I don't know. Maybe you have to hit the button, whatever it is. You worked when you clicked it. So yeah, that's one of the things. And it's just a nice little guide list. That's nothing like, I was kind of showing you some of the different exercises, but when it comes down to it, it's all about just a little list that you can use to kind of get yourself thinking about movement, right? I know I did last week or what was it, Monday, I did a mindset, like an AM routine one. And that's something that I like to use almost on a daily basis, is like trying to figure out like one thing to do or 2 things to stack in a routine. And the same thing with this, right? Is sometimes I know you feel like you want to do something, but you're just like, what the hell should I do? Well, maybe you do a downward dog for a minute. Maybe you do a child's pose. Maybe you do this, and then you go back to work. But you're taking the little bit of a break to focus on these movements. And that way it will help you in the long run. So yeah, and if anybody who wants this, that is one of my clients, that is like, it should be in your app as well. So let me know if it isn't. But yeah, something I wanted to talk about: exercise snacks, give you a free guide, tell you that something that we should be doing, all of us, right? Whether or not you're working at home, you're working at an office, give yourself a couple minutes. And we're going to actually talk about this more. We're going to talk about something called the Power Hour on Monday. Talking about, yeah, the Power Hour, how we're going to set this actually up. So it's one thing we started. Here's some form on Wednesday, and then Wednesday or last week was, here's how you fix your form. This week is how are you going to actually, what to do, and then we're going to figure out how to actually implement it on Monday into our schedule. So we got a nice little strategy going on for everybody here. So should be nice, should be good. Let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, I will see you on Wednesday, and message me too if we don't get the guide. That's going to be important. If you don't get the guide, let me know, and then I'll try to send it over to you so you can get yourself